Hello there. Welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here for this website throwdown live. It's going to be fun. If this is your first time, this is the place where we get to go explore members of World Via Travel Network, their websites, see what's working, what maybe they want to tweak. We just have a very open and honest discussion about good online presence and practices. I know that you just being here, you're going to leave with a couple of nuggets. But I know our member who joins us today is going to leave with a bunch because we've been doing this for a few years and people love it. Now, it's a very vulnerable thing. You saying, here's my beautiful website. I love my website. Can you please critique it? It's a very vulnerable thing. And I am very proud that our members say, hey, do a throwdown on my site because in the end, we want to help you guys succeed. So we're giving you the best tips, tricks, techniques, giving you all the ideas we can give you to help you build your online presence. Now, I can do this by myself, but I don't love doing it by myself. And today I am joined by one of our team members here, Drea. Let me pop over to Drea. There she is.
Oh, I have a cute little name at the bottom now. I love that.
You're supposed to act like that's just how it always is, Drea. Like
Oh my gosh, it's back again. I really, really love that.
she she
I
is
love
so
that.
smooth, guys. She is
Yeah,
so smooth.
I really like how it's always been there. It really complements the screen. I
All
appreciate
right,
it.
the cat's already out of the bag. You already did it. So
Sorry, I'm trying to bring it back.
you are here with me in our Roswell office, but you are in the Love Travel Live Travel studio. Fun times. I love it. That
If
guys,
we get 100 likes in this live video, we're gonna do a studio tour. We're in our influencer era now.
Drea, for you to do a studio tour, you could just turn around and there's the studio, right? It's not that big, guys, but it is a place that we love to create. And just a little side note, I don't know that we've ever talked about it, but that ship behind Drea, as you can tell by the tail fin, that is a Carnival ship, and it is the original Fantasy Carnival ship. It's since been replaced, but that is a vintage ship that used to exist in a storefront. So very, very honored to have that. Carnival sent that to us because they wanted it to be in our studio. So I thought I would call that out since Drea is right there. Now, Drea, I love it when you join these website throwdowns because everybody looks at things with their own eyes, filters, experiences. So I love that you bring your passion for marketing to these conversations. So I am so glad that you're here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I really, really like doing these. I know it helps a lot of our members as well, and just people watching. So that's really awesome.
It is. It is. So you and I could just have a chin wag all day,
Oh, for
but
sure.
we have a guest and we need to bring her on. So guys, without further ado, I'd like to bring on Heather. Hey, Heather.
Hi.
Let's see here. I gotta get you back to all three of us there. There we are. See, just trying to. It's like the Oprah Winfrey show around here. We've got lots of stuff going on. That's what Heather just. She was like so like Oprah Winfrey. Uh,
Same thing.
so Heather, thank you for being our next victim. I mean, sorry, our next guest on website throwdown. So glad that you are joining us. Tell us why you wanted us to visit your website.
We've been putting a lot of work into our website over the last year and have made a lot of changes. We also recently upgraded all of our branding to really reflect our new growing team. And so I'm anxious to see what you think of it. And also the fact that we are a multi agent team. I have a lot of questions about how you think that comes across, if you feel like we're featuring our sub agents well, that kind of thing. So I'm eager to see what you think.
I love it. I love it. So I love that you are a multi-agent agency. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands that because sometimes I say that really fast. And I've had people say, what is this magical thing that you're talking about? So it's a multi advisor agency. So Heather has associates that represent her brand out in the public space, and she markets her business not only as herself being an advisor within the group, but she also has these associates that her website is presenting and marketing them. So it does make it's a nuance to the story because we oftentimes so many people are solopreneurs, so their brand is themselves, and so you can get away with certain things when you are the brand that you can't get away with when you're a multi-agent agency. But it's so much fun. It's so good. So I'm glad that we're gonna dive into that. Now, Heather, can you give us a little background on your business? How long have you been in business?
Let's see. We officially started in 21, but really started growing towards the end of 23, I
Okay.
guess. And then last year we doubled our team. We more than tripled our sales. Like a whole bunch of things happened last year. So last year kind of feels like the beginning, even though we were a couple years into it by then.
I I I know that feeling well. You the established at X date, but really didn't pop off until Y date. So I love that for you. That's so exciting. I have to give you, I've got my sound effects now, so
Yeah, girl.
you got a yeah, girl. I love it. I love it. Now, before we pop over to the website, guys, we are going to be visiting TravelBug, B-U-G, girls.com. So you guys can follow along. I am going to pop it up on the screen. But I did want to ask, Heather, so you've been in business, you started in 21, things really started kicking off in 2023. You're a multi-agent agency. Have you always been a multi-agent agency?
No, I started out on my own. However, that was always the plan. So I'm really getting to see now what I dreamt of having back then.
That's
it's it's it is exciting. It's exciting to see it really come together. We've always wanted to be a team, and I just envisioned this idea of like featuring different women at different life stages that had different areas of expertise working together as a team to promote travel and really make it easier for women to find another woman to work with that they could relate to, and also someone that specialized in the area of travel if they were looking to plan. So that's what we've been able to do, slowly adding team members as we go into those specific niches we were hoping to target. And what we're really working on next is building group travel for women. That's the big goal.
That's exciting. So, all in all, you've got people who specialize in different niches, but is there a common thread or is it travel in general for as far
Travel
as
for
what?
women is kind of our main marketing message. And often, actually, if you were to see something of ours on Facebook, it might even be more specifically like group travel for women. But it's funny how we aimed at, I really wanted to be like a specialist in girls trips. But the more I put that message out, even from the very beginning, women would follow, like, share, comment, all of that on that message. But then what we found is they were hesitant to book travel like that for themselves. They didn't want to
Mm.
spend their money that way necessarily. They would then call us to book their family travel, their anniversary trip, that kind of thing, and then say, maybe someday I'll go on a girls' trip, but can you help me with my family vacation? So we really learned that a lot of women consider that a luxury that they maybe don't choose to afford for themselves. But it's something that appeals to nearly every woman. Everyone loves the concept of traveling with other women, and it's easy for us to get their attention that way. But then in the end, that's not really what we tend to book.
Okay. Okay. Huh. Man, we could just peel that back for
Right?
an hour. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's an interesting dynamic, but okay. So, I will say that it's good that you have identified that. Like you can tell that
Trial
that's
and error.
exactly. No, I love that. I love that. So, all right. So, how long has your current website been live?
About 6 months.
Okay, okay. So it's kind of at the point, and there's differing opinions now about this, but it for years and years and years, it has taken 6 months for most content to start to be consumed by the different search engines. I've heard people say it's faster than that, but I have almost to the day seen it be about 6 months. So I just say that's my rule, because if I build a new website, I think subconsciously, I think everybody now, a million people are going to visit it. So it's got to be perfect. But in all reality, they're not going to discover it unless you're doing paid ads to get them there. It's going to be some months before they get there. So you're kind of at that place where it has most definitely been crawled by the search engines. It's been out there. So it's probably getting found in different searches, which is a beautiful thing. And did you build this website yourself, or did you hire someone to build it for you?
No, I built it myself. It's probably my 12th website or so that I've built. So I'm a serial website builder. My husband was like, if you ever have to start another career, it's going to have to be in website design. So.
Well, after 12, I'm sure you're pretty much like, you hear somebody talking about building their website and you're like, yeah, you're barking up the wrong tree. You are the expert. So I love that. I love that. All right. Well, we're going to pop over, and guys, if you have any questions, wherever you're watching this, you can drop the questions down in the chat. I just ask that you be extremely mindful that this is a very vulnerable space. So if you're like, oh my God, I hate that yellow, whatever it is, right? Maybe just say, you know what, that yellow is it's messing with my mind when I look at it. I can't focus. You know, give some constructive criticism. And if you see something that you just love, you better give Heather a TM for travel marketeering, because she deserves the kudos, especially because she built this website herself. And I'm extremely proud of her for that. So let's pop over and let me click my thing. Oh, while we're on this, give us some emojis wherever you're watching us from. Drea, that was a surprise. That wasn't there last time. Yeah,
We've
sorry.
elevated for
Yeah,
sure.
we've elevated. I've just found some things that I had lost. So okay, so we're on TravelBugGirls.com, and I did load this page up. So when I first came to the website, the pop up wasn't here, but I wanted to leave it there so everybody could see that there's this pop up. I love that. I love that you incorporated the photos of your team, because that immediately signals these are the Travel Bug Girls. Do you guys have a theme song?
No, I wish we did.
I feel like we're the Travel Bug Girls. We're traveling the world. Yeah, something like that. We can workshop that. All right,
Yeah,
so.
I'll give you a call when I'm ready.
So clearly, I get that you're the Travel Bug Girls. You're concierge travel designers. I love the tagline. And then, more importantly, what is the heaviest text I can see on this? It's "We can help." You are giving me confidence. We can help. So tell us more about your travel plans. The only thing I might do different here would just be click here to tell us more about your travel plans. Like, instead of having another line of text, just make the button the action and have it like, because right now it's just click here. If I don't read that smaller text, then I'm just ready for a choose your own adventure, right? What's going to happen to me? So, all right, will this mess anything up if I fill this out?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't want to like mess with your CRM.
Well, I'll tell you what happens if you fill it out and
Yeah.
you answer certain questions, then it automatically matches you with one of our agents based on their specialty, and they will get an email from you or from the job form.
All right. I would like to go to Drea. Where do you want to go?
Oh, so many places. Japan. That's the first one that comes to mind.
Okay, Japan. All right. We're gonna go in September. Well, it has to be after World 25, right?
Yeah, we can't
So,
travel before that
yeah, not
or
before.
during.
Let's see. It's gonna be me and Drea. And let's see. We're gonna do. Do you want to do a cruise, Drea, through Japan?
Cruise to Japan?
Not to Japan, but around Japan.
Oh, yeah. Why
Okay.
not?
We're gonna do that. It's
You're
definitely
inviting me, yes.
it's definitely not romantic. It is definitely not that. We are doing cultural. We are and we're going to spend. I think. What do you think? About $2,000 will be enough. Ha ha ha. Whoever gets this form is going to be like, what is happening
Yeah.
here? Let's see here. This is a test. All right. So I don't know if you can control this, Heather, but
Okay.
I know that I can click here, like I searched for it. I could click here and go back to the website. And I know you've got learn more about the Travel Bug Girls. I would love to say go back to travelbuggirls.com.
Okay.
Just make it even clearer what the next action is.
Okay.
But I love that. Get right down to it, because say I follow you on social media, then I already know, like, I'm interested. So the moment I get to your website, I get to fill out the form and move on. I mean, I could have done that at my kids' play. I could have done that while I'm watching the Golden Girls at 11 o'clock at night. Done and dusted. I am ready to hear from your team. So I love that that was super, super fast. And ultimately, if I filled out that form, then I'm going to be a part of your email communication. So I'm now known to you that I visited your website. So I give that a big thumbs up there.
Great.
So immediately on looking at the homepage, here we go. I am just wrapped in your brand colors. I can feel it. I can feel it in this picture. And I see, obviously, I see women everywhere. Women, women, women. They're in front of the Eiffel Tower. They're dancing in the beach. They're sunning on the beach, and they're at the spa. Like, I love all the images, and you're telling me all sorts of travel, right? It's not just one destination. So a picture, when it speaks 1,000 words, this right here says this is all the type of travel that we do. I think that that's a pretty cool thing. The only thing, and I love seeing all your pictures underneath. All of that visually on point. My only thing that rubs me wrong is your logo in the upper left. You've got a square logo. So what it's doing is it's really small right now.
Yeah.
So I can't even read that. Now, fortunately, I've got it in the hero image you have here. So that's a good thing. But here, it's way too small to be readable. So I've talked about this a lot. This is a very common problem. What I would suggest you do is just take the text from your logo and put that as in a horizontal form right here, so I can see it plain as day wherever I visit on the website, and it's still in the cute font. It's still in the pink. It's very visible. And then use your hat with the text wherever you can. But right there, it's just made it so small. Andrea and I have now done a few of these together, and let me just say, Heather, pretty much 90% of the people we've done this with, they've all had the same thing. It's a very common thing to have these square logos. They look really good on social media profiles. I mean, they're spot on. But here in the land of the website, they really want to be horizontal. So you got to try and get that there.
And I was gonna
Great
say, if
feedback.
you want to keep your element, right, like your icon, you can totally just put it on the side, just the hat, and then you put your text right next to it, so you don't lose that, right? Like your hat is part of your logo, that's part of your brand, so you still have it right there. But then you can incorporate it and maybe just change the color to something visible on white, maybe like a variation of that pink that you have as well. I think that would look pretty
I think that
fun
would
too.
look pretty, or even flipping, like we've got this light blue background, make the hat the light blue and have the Travel Bug Girls just come off to the side of it. That's a brilliant idea. I wish I had thought of that. Thank you, Drea. No, that's really awesome. Okay, let's come back to this. Okay, let me get my mug out of the way. I am like right up in there. Okay, so I've got another call to action here to book now. I assume that's going to take me back to your form.
Yes.
Okay, really good. And then in my upper navigation here, I've got the home page, which is what we're on. I've got group trips. And let's see, we got group trips, European Christmas, NYC Broadway, Nitty Adventures. I I have a feeling that's about knitting.
Yes.
I'm
I'm
curious.
good. I'm good. So I'm wondering, is there any reason why you're not calling these girl group trips?
No, I hadn't really thought about. I guess I was really trying to make sure people knew they were group trips,
Yes.
but I don't want to make it too wordy. That's a real problem I have is like how to boil things down to the essential
Yeah.
words.
Well, I would say I don't necessarily love having three words in the main navigation. So I do like a what we do kind of a thing, like where it's small, but I mean it's still it gives you options to list multiple things. But I do think from an optimization standpoint that if it said girl group trips, I can't help but think that people search for girl group trips. I don't know that
Okay.
I don't know that for a fact, but while your images all show me women, you don't say that anywhere. Which, from a search engine optimization standpoint, it's the words that
Mhm.
helps it get discovered. So I would just try to I would test it,
Yeah.
see if that increases it at all. You've got a podcast. Whoa,
Yes.
yeah,
Wow.
okay. Look at this.
Yeah, that's
It's been a ton of fun.
that is so awesome.
And we all have our own color backgrounds, which don't always look super professional, but it's been a lot of fun to see them pop up on social media and
Yeah.
get us all talking about travel. It's been fun.
How often do you do an episode?
We've been releasing one a week.
That's fantastic. That
I
is
love it.
absolutely fantastic. And let's just, from like remove the fact that you're here, right? If I come to your website and I see like I look at this image, I look at your images down below and I'm like, okay, I'm in the right place. This feels good. But then I just glance over the top navigation. I'm like, oh, I'm intrigued. Baby mooms. B2B might be a little bit of a stretch for me to understand what that is. Not everybody speaks in that terminology. However, businesses do, so that
Yeah.
might be just fine for them. But if I'm trying to get a feel for you, B2B throws a question in my mind immediately when I read it. But all of a sudden, podcast changes the game for me. I'm like, oh, there's something else going on here. So this is brilliant. Now, what made you start a podcast?
Well, one of our earlier teammates, Kimmy, had always wanted to start a podcast. And we were talking about how easy it would be to do that as a travel podcast. And as we looked, we found that there's not a lot of people doing travel for women specifically, just kind of as a general rule, but specifically in the podcasting space. And so, since we were looking to really expand our brand and make sure that we were giving ourselves enough opportunities to showcase each of the dynamic women in our team and their unique perspectives, a podcast just seemed like the natural next step to do that. I really wanted to give us as many opportunities as possible to show our audience their personalities and their unique talents and interests, and I felt like podcasting was a good way to do exactly that. So, and it's really helped us too with our social media to get clearer about what we want to put out there, because we're putting ourselves out there now instead of just focusing on trips that we're trying to sell. Now we're really saying, hey, come and meet us and talk with us about travel. And we want to be your travel BFFs. That's kind of always been our tagline. We want to be your travel best friends. And so it's really given us a better platform to do that.
You know what? I'm ready to retire now, because that was music to my ears. And whether you're a multi-agent agency or you're a solopreneur, what Heather just said is the epiphany I wish everybody would wake up to, because what you were saying is you wanted to showcase personalities. You wanted you wanted a place for your travel BFFs. All these things. You are bringing the brand to life for people that not everybody's going to pick it up through reading a website page. I mean, that's just one component. You have to bring it to life. And half the time, more than half the time, people rely on someone to make an inquiry, to have a phone conversation or meet with them at a Starbucks or whatever, to realize that they're awesome. Like what a leap of faith for you to contact somebody blindly and say, okay, this is the person for me to do a trip with, right? So by you doing the podcast, you putting that content on social media, you are showing who you are. And I think that's a brilliant thing. I'm immensely proud of you. And I stopped on the website for a second because I wanted to show you guys something that I think is really awesome. So this is, I'm assuming that this is an overview of who you guys are, the episode 1, right? Like it,
Yes.
It sets the stage. So if you guys have not done a podcast, first off, I'm going to say it's simple, not easy. It's very simple to create a podcast. You can do it on your phone. There's some online tools that you can use. It's very inexpensive, fairly easy. Just so you know, the podcasts that are also recording it and creating a video, those are crushing it these days. So if you're not doing that currently, please do it. Consider it. If you are doing it, you're right on track. But a practice for your podcast is to have the first episode be hey, get to know us and here's what to expect. So your very first episode is hey, I'm Heather, I'm Kimmy, da-da-da-da-da. Like, give me it doesn't have to be a log episode. It just has to be something to help me get to know or to be enticed to watch or to listen, and put that first episode on your website, just like Heather and the team are doing, because that right there shows, hey, there was an episode 1, but more importantly, there is a this week's episode. Do you guys see that? So, hello. I don't even know when episode 1 was done, and it could have been yesterday. I don't care. It automatically, it gives me a vibe that this has been around for a while. So what is that signaling? Credibility, consistency. These are the things that I am looking for in a travel pro. And she has done it by just having episode 1 and this week's episode. And the other thing that I'm going to say is Google, Bing, the AI tools that are searching the websites, they're looking for signals that your website is fresh. So we always talk about, make sure you have a blog so you've got fresh content. There's new pages being added to your site. Well, another thing beyond adding pages is that there's updates to existing pages. So if she's got this week's episode, every week this is getting updated. What is that signaling to the gods of Google? It is signaling that this website is fresh and it's living, it's moving, it's breathing. That is a good thing. So that's gonna score you very, very well. So super impressed with you. How long have you been doing the podcast?
We started our first recordings in January, so our first episode was posted like early February, and we hit that 6-month mark on our website, and like our third or fourth week of posting regularly our podcast around the same time, and our views on our website went from like 200 to 300 a month to 2,000 a month. So just from just that, yeah. So it made a huge difference doing that. Even though you wouldn't see like in our initial, this first few months of downloads, it's like 10 people downloaded it doesn't look like a lot of people are listening to it. But I think the SEO, like you said, it's just all kind of came together beautifully. And all of a sudden we were getting organic stuff, and I started having people actually calling to book travel with us, which had never happened before. I had my actual cell phone on our Google business listing because nobody's ever calling me, right? And all of a sudden, like everything just started kind of working. Yeah.
That's the story. What were you gonna say, Drea?
I was going to say, like, when you were talking about it, Josh, I was like, this is like it's working together. Like, it's kind of fixing a problem made, like, in some sort of way. So, like, if they find you through your podcast, the next step would be like, oh my gosh, they have so much knowledge. Like, who do I book with now? How do I get this started? So you could just go right to your website. And then if they find you through your website, they can see that you have the credibility in a really important topic, which I saw that's coming up, right? Like, as a woman, you're traveling independently. What do you need to look out for? What are the tips? Like, it's just all going back to each other. I really, really love that.
Yeah,
Glad that translates.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I have to say you're dinging all the bells right now, Heather. Like if the biggest thing I could tell you was make your logo look different in the upper left corner, I think we're in a really good place. No, this is really exciting. And Heather, you had not had a podcast before, right?
Right, never. It's brand new for all of us. We just started. We just said we want to do it. And Kimmy was like, let me figure out how. And then we just did it. And then she's learning on the fly, but she's really passionate about it. So that helps.
Yes.
She's very, very interested in it. She's willing to put in the hours to figure it out, but it was free to get started. We've been able to invest just a little bit as we go to like upgrade things to make it easier. After a couple of months, we figured out this is going to be a major game changer for our social media. So then we invested a little bit into Opus Clips, which makes it easier to cut down our full videos into little bite-sized reels that we can post on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. And but that was like, I think we pay like $15 a month. So I mean, like the investment is so small. The amount of time we've put into it is a little more. Kimmy, especially having to do video editing, has been a little more in audio editing, that kind of thing. But I think she told me last that she's still spending maybe 10 hours a week doing that. So it's really been a huge payout for a small investment for us. And now out of that one product, we now have a YouTube channel that we're building. We have a ton of social media content, like more than we can use. It's a little overwhelming. And we're like, my goal for the June is to start converting our transcripts into blog posts and adding pictures. And I mean, it opens up so many other doors. Like we could add affiliate links to the products we're talking about. Because one day we talked about packing tips, and all the women were showing, they're like, well, this is how I do it, and this is what I use, and this is my favorite suitcase, and this is my favorite carry-on, And so there's just so many things you could do out of that one thing. And we've just gotten a little smarter about how to make it easier for us to do that. So, and then, like you said, it's adding all of this traffic to my website. So it's just kind of like one thing just opened up a lot for us. It's really helped us grow as a team because now we're spending that time together every month. So we record like 4 episodes at a time. So we're not doing this every week together because like that's hard to pull everybody together. But we set aside a Sunday afternoon and we record a month's worth of content, and whoever can be there is there, and then we have a lot of chit chat because of it, and it's helping our audience get to know us as people, like you said. So you are skipping past those initial introductions in a lot of ways. Like they think they know us by the time they're reaching out, and they're excited to work with us.
Well,
I would absolutely.
What'd you say, Drea?
I'd feel safe. I'd be like, all right, I'm in your hands now. I feel safe. It's a safe space. If that's what you were trying to create, which I think you already said it is, it's definitely created a very safe space for the type of travelers that you're trying to attract.
I hope so.
The show don't tell is gonna be my 2025 message. Is we spend a lot of time, and believe me, I work with thousands of agency owners and advisors, and man, they will hem and haw over a paragraph on their website, and I'm like, I get it, but that is easily changed. What really can make the difference is whether it's through photos, videos, whether it is through blog articles that are showcasing your passion, or a podcast like this, wherever you can show instead of telling, people will respond, and things like, it's almost like you're hitting them on multiple senses, right? You've got the sight, you've got the sound, you're infiltrating their brain. And I love that you're able to do this as a group. Not everybody can do a podcast as a group. So they've got to, talk for 90 minutes by themselves. That would be me. I have to do that a lot. Fortunately, I've always talked to myself, so it's pretty easy. But no, I love that you're doing this, and I love that you have quickly, if you just started this in January, you figured out how one piece of content can lift so many things, including YouTube, which is the #2 search engine in the world. So why would you not want to be on YouTube? That is just a brilliant. It's just brilliant. It's all exciting, and I love that you use. What was the name of that tool that you're using for the clips?
Opus. OPUS.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I use one called Riverside FM. It does audio. It allows you to record video as well. But it will do something called Magic Clips. And it will take whatever video and it will go and find 7, 10, 12 different clips. And you can tweak it a little bit. But for the most part, I'm like, well, that was much better. I wouldn't have created that on my own. And
exactly.
It takes minutes to do. And like you said, it's now a TikTok. It's now a reel. It's creating that content that you need. So one Sunday afternoon can lift all of your content for the whole year, or not for the whole year, but for the whole month, whatever it is that you're with the period that you're working with. And I do love that you do it once a month. That is brilliant, especially when you've got a group of people. You're right. That's hard to schedule. But what I have done with teams in the past, a lot of times as a team, you get together and you meet about things. And what do you talk about? You talk about Thanksgiving. You talk about this awesome trip that you just took, or you talk about the news about a new ship with MSC. You're talking about those things. Now, not everything that you're talking about should be a podcast. I mean, let's be straight about that. But why not have that same conversation knowing that it could be out in the public? And what would you talk about? And how could that serve you as a group? I can't get over it. I'm so excited. It's just awesome. But because we're coming up on time. That was pretty fast. what I'd love to know, Drea and I love to address specific things. So, is there anything that, as you built your website after it's been live, is there anything that you were like, you know what, I don't know how I feel about that? Is there something that stands out to you as something that you'd like to have us look into?
One of the things that I am concerned about is how do we best articulate all the different things we can do. We try to niche down, but the reality is we can book whatever you want, and it's something that's difficult to convey. I have 3 different panels on that front page that kind of highlight the 3 main things we do: custom travel, design, group travel, and the idea that you can join one of our groups too. So what I'd like to do is work towards focusing more on group trips and group travel. We're hoping that our podcast conversations will lead people to want to travel with us. And so the idea being like, come travel with the Travel Bug Girls, and this is what you'll end up with, is whatever trip we've curated. So I would like each of our girls to curate at least one trip a year that's designed for women to join us in their area of specialty. That's kind of what we're working towards. So how best to showcase that so that people are drawn in and want to participate? That's kind of my next challenge.
So I'm going to give you, based on while you were talking, I just scrolled through your homepage, and again, visually, you're on brand. I feel it. I love that. Something that I do feel is missing, and maybe it's speaking a little bit to what you were just asking, but I don't see, outside of these, I don't see a lot of travel photos on this homepage to showcase destinations. I mean, you've got that collage at the very top, which I do love. I love the collage, but I feel like I am missing, if photos of women in a beach gathering, so I can see it's like a girls' trip, or showing the variety of destinations that you guys can. You do a safari? Can you do Japan? Can you do river cruising? I think about some of the river cruise experiences that they've put together, where it's like travel with authors or travel with musicians, things like that. So you will see groups of friends going on those things. So I know that they've got photography like that. So I feel like having some imagery that is showcasing groups in different destinations would show the breadth of what you offer. So I think that would be something that I love. I love all the content. I just feel like I'm missing more destination stuff that says travel. Okay. The other thing that I don't have any facts to back this up, but I don't know that people search group travel. Group travel is something that you and I know. That's a thing. That's a category of travel. But I don't know if I sit at the keyboard thinking about a trip with my girlfriends. I don't think I would think to type in group travel. That seems like a very inside term. So I might think of maybe attaching to some of those images things like girls' trip. Or like your knitting group, things like that, affinity groups, which that is definitely an internal term, but travel with your friends that share a passion. So I am absolutely workshopping here. I'm not expecting this to be gold, but I'm just saying, like, give me some ideas of what this looks like. And the same thing with custom travel. Am I searching for custom travel, or am I? Is it more more that that travel expert. Is that what I'd be searching for? Am I searching for a travel expert? I'm trying to get in the head of the person that's searching, and
Mhm.
I don't know that I would search for custom travel. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I mean, I need to see that in the description. I need to see we can customize your trip and create any type of experience that you want. But in this case, am I doing it for the solo traveler, or am I doing it for the groups? And how would I frame that up? Um, but I do like the make new friends. I don't necessarily like in terms of the types of travel, because this is what you were talking about, right? The categories, or were you talking about the
Right.
ones at the top? So these don't necessarily speak to me as buckets. Because they're all kind of structured a little bit different. So travel bug girls group trips. Um, that is very long, and then the next one's custom travel, and then next one is make new friends. So I'm not sure what these buckets really are trying to say, but I feel like they could maybe be simplified a little bit. And I'm wondering, this is now just a completely random thing, but I'm wondering for the Travel Bug Girls group trips, if you put the logo in the corner so it looks like it's like the good housekeeping seal of approval. This is your trip. Yeah, I also think this is an opportunity based on what you said about how people work with you and what you're trying to attract. I'm feeling like you need a nice little explainer video that's cute and fun. Maybe it's just from your podcast. Like, hear from the girls, what we can do for you, having that on the homepage to help convey that story a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I would love that. Where would you put that? Where would you want to see that? Like, in that top section?
You know what? This is working for me so much right now. I don't want you to add to it here. Um, I I think I'd like to see it maybe like right here, right
Okay.
under the booking appointments, and then maybe flip this a little bit. So come up with some better titles for these buckets, and maybe put the titles above the image. So when I look at the video, before I scroll any further, I know what you're about to talk about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like if I scroll past the book appointment, I see a video here, I click on it, but I'm able to see Travel Bug Girls group trips, custom travel, whatever you name these. I'm able to see those. So then after the video, I'm like, oh, I need to read more. There's more for me to read.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. But I think
I
that
think
video would be really helpful to capture whoever. It could be all of you or it could just be one of you, but just that one on one conversation feel, I think would be good. Dre, what were you going to say? Sorry.
no, it's okay. I was just gonna say, I think yeah, something a little more descriptive and concise, would be better because again, it's a lot of text, and I kind of had to read as you guys were talking of like what those things were. But I know that like now we're moving fast, right? So we want to make sure that we have everything like right there, and like people don't have to dig for it; they're not confused. I think having that video and the bucket and then a description right here would be the best way to go about it.
Drea, I love that you said that you, while we were talking and I was scrolling, you were having to read to
Yeah,
understand what that was. And
yeah,
Heather, I think that that is your moment of truth because you wrote it, your team lives it, right? So everyone's
yeah,
like, yeah, that's it. But Drea, first time seeing your website, she's like, I don't get it from the headlines here. I don't.
yeah,
So she was having to read it. So you got the story there, but you work on those headlines to just make it clear because not everybody's going to read all the text
yeah,
Right.
like Drea just did. So as long as they can look at the photo and look at the headline and get the gist of it, you're in a beautiful place because people do skim. That's definitely the way of the world.
yeah.
What was that? You made me think of something else, Drea. You were on fire there. I was like, yes, 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 yes. Um, wait,
TM, TM.
yeah. So I guess something that is sticking out to me is the home navigation just at the top. Since this is across every single page, I I get that we've got group trips. I don't understand why Baby Moons is on the other side of podcast. So it seems like you're breaking up what you do, and it doesn't make sense. Why did you put the podcast right there in the middle?
Um, I don't think that I put any thought into it. I wanted the
Okay.
group trips kind of towards the front, but other than that, I hadn't really put any thought into where it shows up.
You know what? Because I'm going to read this, I'm going to read it. Travel Bug Girls, home. I'm going to just read group trips, podcast, Baby Moons, B2B. I would just put podcast at the very end, almost like that's your call to action, because that's the only thing that's different from these. The rest are what you do. Just because there are people that are very logical thinkers, and they're like, I'm going to start from this side of the page and I'm going to work my way over, and that just seems a little disjointed to me.
Okay.
Since you said call to action, Joshua, I'm wondering if we can incorporate that button up there. Because at the moment, you got to go back to the homepage and then go back to the book now. But I feel like it's a little more convenient and accessible if you just have it right at the top of your navigation at every page that you're at, right? Because I think it's a logical step to go from like the podcast, right? Since you said you have people calling you, just have a CTA that they can just click on right there with a very nice bright shade of pink if you want it to be, or
Yeah,
blue.
I think it
Your
should. I think
colors.
it should be pink.
Hmm.
Yeah, is that easy for you to do, Heather? To put a button in the upper right corner?
I don't know. I haven't tried. I designed it on GoDaddy, so I'll see
Okay.
what options they let me do. But that would be awesome. It's a
Yeah,
great idea.
if you can't, a get started or a contact us link to a page would be sufficient. But even though you've got the call to action on the page further down, if you could get it up there, then I see it. I know it's there as I move through your site. I'm like, yeah, 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 and then I could come up right here because I've seen it before. So yeah, that's a very. It's almost like the same with the having the horizontal logo for the upper left corner. It's like having a CTA, a call to action, right there on every single page in the upper right. We're kind of trained to do that. That's with so many websites. That's where the shopping cart is. That's where so many calls to action are. So yeah, that was a good call, Drea. And then let's see. What is this? This is grow your business on the B2B. This is we've got you. We
We've
specialize.
started
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
we've started working more with small businesses that also are targeting women in their work and connecting with them to provide custom travel opportunities that kind of go that are aligned with their branding. This is how we ended up with our Knitty Adventures. There's a small yarn shop in Washington that was doing really well, and the owner discovered that all of her regulars were traveling on yarn or knitting or crochet themed cruises and other trips, or dreaming about doing that. So she said, why don't I start offering those things? Because I'm doing the same thing. I'm going on vacation to knit too. And so we worked together and created some custom travel for her audience. And then we're promoting it just like she is. So that really opened the doors for us to be able to do the same for other business owners. And one of our agents, Tina, is also a certified yoga instructor. And so she said, well, this is something that every yoga enthusiast does, is combine yoga with travel. And so that makes it easy for us to reach out to other people in the wellness space and offer this opportunity to create group travel for them.
I love that story. I that now I get it, because the B2B thing was throwing me a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I really feel like the what I would recommend you do is say for business or for businesses. It's just something that if I don't use the term B2B, I get it. But I would also suggest, because when I was first on this page and trying to gather it, like obviously I'm talking to you on video, so I'm not reading, I'm not consuming your website, but I was really having to force myself to read it so I could get what you were talking about. However, when I got to these images and I got retreats, custom tours, I'm like, oh, okay, visually I got it. It's groups of ladies, they're doing a retreat, they're doing custom tours. I might suggest that you slide this section up to the top where you've got your big image, and then say grow your business with Travel Bug Girls group trips or something like that, just to kind of put that out there, to just really spell that out. But then I can kind of associate you with retreats, custom tours, and then I can get into some of the details about that, and maybe even have a custom inquiry form that's just based on this for business travel here. I don't know,
Yes,
just
perfect.
yeah, have a think
Perfect.
on that one. But
Yeah.
all in all, you're doing really good stuff here. You're doing really good stuff. And not only is your website doing good stuff, but I love that you're creating the content to support it, because that. I think we look at the website as this one thing. I've got to get my website up. Oh, and then I've got to create social media content. And then I've got to, why won't people buy from me? Like, you know what I mean? Like I even had somebody say, oh, if someone would call me, I've got so many great things to share about, I don't know, Alaska. And I'm like, okay, stop holding that in. Let that fly
Hmm.
out and share that on social. So I feel like you guys are doing a very good job of pulling all the levers. That's what I'm going to say, pulling all the levers. So keep up the good work. That's what I'd say.
Thank you.
Drea, do you
Thank
have any
you.
parting words?
I mean, this is like literally one of the most excited. Well, we had some really great website throwdowns. Don't get me wrong, all of them were great, but man, I mean, it's exciting like to hear you doing so many things. I just feel like the passion really comes through. You're passionate about what you're doing. You're passionate about providing a space for your travelers, for your team to like be able to do cool things like this and like show. Like, I mean, this is just overall a great. I don't know. I'm feeling good.
Ah,
You're making me blush.
That's not bad. So
So
yeah, like
excited.
Josh has said, I mean, that's awesome. So yeah, just keep working on it. And I know it can be hard sometimes. Sometimes you're gonna get burnt out. That's totally normal and understandable. But if you keep going, you're gonna be able to make it where you want to be.
Love
awesome.
it.
Awesome. Well, Heather, thank you for being here, and thank you for wanting us to do a throwdown with you. So
Thank
you
you for,
survived.
yeah, thank you
It's
for
not bad.
sharing all your ideas. I'm so grateful.
Well, keep up the good work. Keep us posted on how it goes. But you tell your team, super proud of them, and I can't wait to tune into the podcast.
Yay. Well, we'll all be at World 25. So we'll look
Yeah.
for you there.
World 25 in Texas. I've got over to the side here. I've got outfits. This is what I do. I start hoarding outfits. I don't know what I'm gonna wear. I just start hoarding them. But I that's my favorite time of year. So I'm glad that you guys will be there. That's
Yeah, the
awesome.
Travel Bug Girls will all be together in one place finally.
You guys have to do a podcast as a group like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Live from
Remind
the
me,
road.
and I'll find you a place if you can't find one. But no, that's
that's
awesome.
great.
Awesome. All right. Well, I will say a goodbye to all of you for watching us. I hope you got some nuggets. I hope you were impressed by the Travel Bug Girls website, because it's awesome. I think there's a lot of things that are very, very within reach for you to incorporate into your website. And what I love about Heather's story is she has experimented, she's tried, and she has tapped into her team. And I think it's really clear that this isn't just Heather's brand. This is the whole group's brand. And that's a really magical thing. I've created many brands, and not everyone I've created has been able to bring a team together. But I can see, just on visiting the website, I can see that that is the path that the Travel Bug Girls is on, and I love it. I love it. I love it. So if you would like to be a part of a website throwdown, visit Worldvia Pro and search website throwdown, and you'll find the application to join. We've got quite a few people on the waiting list, but get your name in it. You're never going to get a throwdown if you don't apply. So until next time, take care of yourself. See you real soon. Bye now.